So who's brought home that puppy a couple of months ago? And now, they've gotten bigger, heavier, and even taller, and the jumping up on you is becoming more of a problem. Today, I'm going to talk about how to train your dog not to jump up on you. So I'm Linda Kwan, and I am the founder and trainer at Wow Bow Wow. I specialize in working with pup parents with companion dogs, the family dog. And I work with family dogs that may be just brought home. They're maybe like 2 to 4 months old, or they could be a little bit older, getting into their teen months, like between 4 and 5 months old, up to about 24 months old, or with pet parents who have brought home a more mature dog, whether rescued or adopted. And they're having some behavior issues, or just want to teach them some basic cues, basic behaviors. So today I'm going to talk about some tips I wanted to share with you with the dog that's getting a little bit bigger and that jumping up on you, maybe even almost toppling you over. They're getting too big for it now, right? So, and I'm going to emphasize on the scenario where, it's when you get up and start moving is one of the moments when they may be jumping up on you, or, even nipping at you, where they're grabbing your clothes or trying to grab your hand. And it's a lot of times in play, trying to engage with you, but you know what? It can, maybe knock you over. Whether you be carrying something or, you don't want to be on the ground because of your dog getting bigger. And so here are the tips. I'm going to start with number 1, which is, when you have a puppy that's been doing this a while, it may take a bit to get them to understand that this is not what you want them to do. So one of the things that I would like for you to start doing is when they jump up on you is to not acknowledge them. Keep moving. Now, if they're like really too much for you, the other thing you can do is maybe have some kibbles. Now, if they have dry food, that's the best way to do this. If not, treats is great. But for a lot of dogs, in their excitement in your movement, whether you got off the couch, get up from the table, get out of bed, excitement of you, oh, where are we going? What are we doing? They may need help in getting a little bit less excited. And sometimes getting their nose on the ground helps. And if you stop and drop a couple of treats, and basically show them the treat as you're dropping it, first couple of times, their nose will go to the ground instead of jumping up on you. And as you're walking along and you do this, they will start looking at the ground for the yummy treat or kibble instead of jumping up on you. Now, tip number 2. If food is not their motivator and they're grabbing at clothes and things, sometimes a longer chew toy, a soft chew toy. I've even suggested people take an old t-shirt, cut it a long way, and then maybe put knots in it if you wanted to, but basically giving them that to grab onto instead of your clothes as you're walking along. So that's tip number 2. Now, I'm going to pause here and ask for a favor. If you're interested in learning more tips on how to help your dog not jump on you, put it down below and let me know, because I'm thinking of doing another workshop on jumping dogs. And the second part of the request is, what kind of scenarios are you having this problem? For many of my clients, it is in movement when they get up from somewhere and going to another room in the house or getting up in the morning. But other scenarios may be maybe at the front door, when you come home, or through the garage when you come home. Or when guests come over, your dog jumping on them. Or it could be when you have that plate full of something yummy and they keep jumping up at you trying to get to it. Or maybe you're carrying someone's baby, whether it's yours or a niece or nephew or friends, and they keep jumping up trying to smell the baby. So in all those kind of scenarios, you want all four paws to be on the ground. They can be a little excited, but you want to teach them to learn to calm down. So that leads me to tip number 3. So one of the games I like to teach dogs to help them with impulse control and to help them to do an alternative behavior instead of jumping up. So a game that you can teach your dog, for the situation, not in the situation. So doing it when it's not the moments when they are jumping up on you, when you're moving about, or any of the other scenarios I mentioned. It's, basically getting them riled up in play and then asking them to sit or down. Now, in order for this to work, obviously you have to teach them how to sit or down. And in that moment of excitement, it may not work in the beginning for sure, but bring them up just a little bit of excitement and then ask them to sit or down. And then you start going to the next levels of excitement and then bringing them down. So what you want them to do is go get excited quickly and then come down really quickly. Get them excited and get them down really quickly. So they learn to self-regulate themselves in the future. And so when you are needing them to calm down, get on all four, you can ask them to do that much more quickly in the moments when you need it. So those are my 3 tips. I hope you found them helpful. So the first is, sometimes getting the nose on the ground gets them calm enough, and then they keep searching on the ground instead of trying to jump up on you. So kibbles or treats, having them maybe in different areas of the house, or actually having a treat pouch in the house on you. Tip number 2 was giving them an alternative to grab onto, because a lot of times jumping on you may include also grabbing things, your hand, your clothes. So having a longer toy. So again, you may have several throughout the house that you have to grab and get them to engage in instead of jumping up on you. And again, the third tip was training them to self-regulate and to be able to do that quickly from an excited state to get down to a calm state. All right. So I would love to hear from you. Would you like to learn more tips from me about, preventing your dog to jumping on people, stopping them jumping on people, whether it's you or your guest or, kids or your grandma? You really don't want dogs to continue this kind of behavior. All right. I will see you next Tuesday.